Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on another journey. It's a rather overcast day, but I want to get busy. So I'm using a 24 by 36 wood canvas. I primed it with Liquitex Tallow Blue, and I glued some Dome Star Fake Diamonds onto the canvas. They're have a little bit of shine to them. Just going to try something new today. My color palette, I'm using a Chameleon Blue Green Gold by Prisma 65 Floricraft Diamond Dust that I mixed into the resin mixture. Teal epoxy paste, which I love. It's just so rich. A Renflo silver metallic powder, a white, chameleon olive color, and then the Renflo silver metallic, and a brown green mica powder, all mixed into that resin mixture. So I sectioned it off into quadrants, and I thought I would try something a little bit different today. Just want to get some of that glue gun residue off. I did clean it earlier, but I must have missed a few. So let's see how it goes. I actually am going to put down some of that resin mixture. I am using Resin Art. I mixed it. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. I started for about 5 minutes, eliminating some of those bubbles. As I said, I did glue down those geodes, but I want to add a little bit more of that resin to get underneath and in between the crevices so that the canvas has a sheen throughout, and it doesn't show up that opaque dark color. So, and it also adheres some of those stones that have become loose, or that I missed when I glued them down. It happens. So just want to drizzle some additional resin, making sure it's all covered. Put down some more resin onto the canvas and covering it up. Trying to get it all covered, and I will spread it out to the sides as well. I didn't want to just put down the colored resin. I'm hoping it's not too much, but we'll see. So I'll just spread it out a little bit here and turn some music on.
Read the story, heard the song, thought I knew what love was, but I felt it, but all along
just blowing out some additional bubbles. I'm pushing away some of the resin. I had not realized that when I lifted up my garage door, some of the raindrops just started coming down. I'm hoping it doesn't affect the composition or the drying process. I wasn't expecting that. I should have moved my table away from the door. So let's see what happens. Last night was incredible. I know there was a tornado in the area. The wind was fierce. It was just pummeling against the windows. I thought for sure they would just break away. It was just unbelievable. I don't think I remember a wind or rain swept from the wind, or windswept rain, as it were. Incredible. So just want to make sure that I get most of that out. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're well. Just switching off my gloves. Trying to not get it on my skin. I've been doing that a lot lately, and it's just, it's really hard to get it off. I do use salt and alcohol, cream my skin really well. It happens. Am I going to stop because of it? Probably not. I'm really loving this new journey. I had done acrylic pours, if you've been watching my prior videos. Love working with those, and I tried various different techniques. So here I'm doing the resin and just checking for those bubbles. Seems to be something got caught in that resin. It happens, a little gnat, a little fleck of some sort. It's not coming off. I have to go in. I'm not really sure where. All right. I did have my tweezers today. Toothpicks, trying to avoid tampering with the resin too much. But it is, again, I've said it before, it's very forgiving. So I'm going to torch out additional bubbles. Trying to get under the geode. There are some areas where the resin is not flowing the way I would need to, so just touching it up, making sure that it is coated before I actually go in and start with the beautiful rich colors in my palette that I'll be using today. So I'm hoping it works out. I had thought about this, and I had done a previous piece where I put the diamond-like geodes down that were clear, and it really turned out beautifully. And here I decided to go with more of an aquatic or aquamarine sort of color. And so I am using the teal to kind of bring that all together. And then some of the brown I thought would pair really, really well with the blue. Love those two colors together, earth and sky. And here I've got that resin mixture with the that sparkle twinkled glass, as it were. And I'm just going to drizzle. It is rather thick. Not really sure if I should thin it out, but I'm just going to go with this. And I think it will seep into those crevices because the geodes are irregular. So I think that it will coat, or the resin will help the glitter get down into those crevices and coat it really well. So as I said, I'm just trying different techniques, and I just thought I would add a little bit of luster, especially since I put that resin down on top of the geodes, and I don't want them to necessarily lose that that shimmer, that sparkle. So I'm hoping that by adding this mixture, it will work out. Again, just trying something new. I've been reading some really great self-help books, just on being happy with who you are, finding joy in the little things, and not letting your thoughts overwhelm you. Patricia J. Zito, you can find her on Amazon. Her books are there, and she has some great sort of worksheet kind of things that help guide you through some of the angst that you might be feeling and just dealing with the stressors of life. a lot of different books. So Patricia J. Zito, uh, I'll post that at the end of the video. So here I just want to add some additional glass glitter. There's enough of that resin on here that it will definitely adhere. It's not my plan to actually have it land on the quadrants, but I'm not adverse to that happening. I think it will be okay. I could try, or I should have perhaps tried some sort of sieve or a spoon, but um, I don't know. Just a little more bling. My happy now, as Patricia J. Zito says, and this makes me happy actually. So I've got that down. I'm just kind of trying to think through. Um, Not really sure if I want to use the same exact colors. So I want to just do opposites. And I am going to swipe it. Um, and I have a serrated tool, silicone tool for that, rather than the comb. I realized when I was doing a previous piece a few years ago that the comb's teeth were irregular on one side, and that caused some of that resin not to be picked up, the colored resin. It didn't affect it too badly. It didn't affect the final composition too badly, but I did not want to use the comb here. I'm trying to do a swipe so that all the colors that I'm putting down will go through. Here comes that beautiful rich teal that I love so much, and it just complements that geode so well, and with the brown and then mixed in with that blue gold green, it's really, really striking. So just gonna try to go straight out with it. And I'm okay with the negative space. I actually would prefer for there to be some negative space. I'm trying to add a little bit of movement here, but when I try to swipe with that comb previously, I wanted to do a curve effect. And even though I'm ambidextrous, it didn't really work out too well. But I'm going to just try a straight swipe through. Oh, it looks like it's starting to get overcast out there. They are predicting rain again, but after last night, I don't think it could be worse. All right, so just doing that swipe, seeing some bubbles coming through, so I will be torching them. Just so heartbreaking with all the flooding that's going on in Texas right now. So many lives lost. Just really sad, very heartbreaking right now. So just keep everyone in your thoughts. All right, so just going to go in with that silver this time. Trying to alternate the colors a little bit. I didn't want to put all the colors down at once, doing the opposites, going horizontal, then going vertically. So my short-term memory doesn't always work. So I'm not really sure how I started. I could just look at the colors, but that too sometimes confuses me. But I think it will be okay because the color palette is what it is, and I think it will it will be fine. So I just want to go in and just carry those through. And I'm noticing beautiful fingerlings going on, and that blue gold, which almost looks like a white. From what I'm seeing here, I'm doing this voiceover so that I can see, just as you do in real time, what's going on. And the colors are really pretty, blending really nice. They're playing wonderfully together. So there are some bubbles which I will be addressing. And again, once you do a resin pour, you can't just pour it out and just leave it. I had done that initially when I started this journey. Doesn't work too well. You do need to go out, in every 10 minutes and just wipe off the underneath the canvas, and then just pop out additional bubbles because they will continue to form through the drying process. And I love the fact that even with the Nick Pro tends to dry a little bit faster. So I don't use the Nick Pro for the geode because it's just more time consuming to do a geode resin piece. So I use the art resin, which has a longer drying period. So I can go 40 minutes using that resin versus the Nick Pro, which would dry or would start to harden after about 30 minutes, sometimes even sooner. The temperature isn't horrible out there today. It's not really humid. It is overcast. Rain is coming. I can feel it. I can sense it. And once again, just trying to work through this. And I'm hoping those little drops that came down from my open garage door don't affect that composition. A couple of drops landed on the canvas that had the resin on it, and I could see them puckering there. So I'm hoping as it dries, the resin will just kind of coat them and it will absorb. Love that teal on that side. It's just really pretty. I'm still trying to work on getting that aerial view. I don't really know if they have one of those, what do they call them, stands or, the holders for your camera that would be extend higher. Well, this one only goes for about 4 feet. Typically when I had done the acrylic pours, the fluid art, I'd sit on the floor, and it worked well because I could put the camera up ahead and you'd get that aerial view. But here, since I'm working with resin, I definitely do not want to sit on the floor since I managed to get resin on me anyway in a standing position. So I can only imagine what might happen if I decided to sit. So I'm standing using the resin. And the camera, as I said, I haven't angled it to get you that aerial view. But I'm hoping when I take you in for a close-up, you can see what's going on. And I do hope that you can see some of the natural beauty of these colors that are just real breathtaking. Love that interplay again of that teal and that brown. Real nice. Tempted to do another piece. I'm kind of getting into this journey of geodes and trying to use them in different ways. Prior piece I had gone on the diagonal, so I found that center, measured it out, and I actually used an acrylic pen. Here I used the blue acrylic pen to measure out the center and then put out that cross shape because I did want to go for that quartered effect of the quadrant and do opposite swipes on it. I think I might have included or put down a little bit too much of the colored resin on one side more so than on the other. I can see it where I'm torching right now seems to be a lot more than on the others, and I'm not really sure because the resin is self-leveling, and I fear it will probably shift a lot more than I had thought. But again, just experimenting, taking a journey, and if that happens, then I'll just readjust it for the next one. But in a previous piece I had done, as I said, I went on the diagonal, and it worked out really, really well with the simple color palette, and I did use the teal in that one as well, and it was just so beautiful. Am I allowed to say that of my own work? I really love it, so I don't really want to part with it. But this one will be a gift. So just want to make sure I got as many bubbles as possible. I think I do need to add, there just seems to be a little bit more teal here than I had thought. And again, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the amount of resin that I am adding. I fear that it may shift more than I had wanted to. So the swipe, it's been my experience in the short time I've been doing this, that the resin, because as I said, is self-leveling, it starts to morph and take shape of its own, or it takes on a life of its own. So I'm not really sure if all of the swipes in the quadrants are going to keep that pattern, but I will post it with the dried results so you can see what's happening. You can see the amount of resin that's on there. And again, I'm not really sure if that swiped effect will remain, but I love what's going on. So just want to take off a little bit of the excess, and I'm okay if the colors sort of start to commingle a little bit more. Now see, if I were doing a fluid art, this would definitely not work. You know, the idea of going over the paint, then they become muddied. And here they are, but yet it works. I suppose part of it is because of the vibrancy of the colors, or the combination with the resin. You know, that shimmered effect is really pretty. My husband's listening to music in the background. He loves listening to his music. So that's what that is. It's not me. I'm just trying to work through this. Just again, going over some of the swipes. Still maintaining that teal and the blue, gold, green chameleon that I use. Love using the chameleon powder because as it dries, it takes on this rich quality, and I really love working with it in the resin pieces. So you can kind of see it there right next to the geode, or the geodes that are down. So I'm really liking it. Love the contrast of the varying shades of blue in the geodes. Some are clear, others are, there are 3 different shades of blue actually there. So it's working really well, again, with the mica powder brown and that rich blue. And then you have the pop of the blue, gold, green chameleon, which is working really, really well. So I'm real anxious to see how this turns out. And again, I'm hoping it doesn't shift too much, but I did put a lot of colored resin, more on one side or on one quadrant than I did in the other. So I'm not really sure. But again, it's a journey, it's a process. Just want to make sure, once again, that all my sides are covered with the resin. I have taped underneath, so if there's excess there, when I get ready to gift it, then I'll just go in and clean it up, taking off the tape using my heat gun, and that works really well. So just want to make sure that I do not need to pop any more out. Let it sit and take you in for a close-up. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I want you to just see the beauty of what's going on here. And the canvas, the blue that I put down, is peeking through as well. So I have some of the hint of the tallow blue. There are some bubbles here. I don't think it's the raindrops. I could be wrong though. But I'm hoping once again that they kind of disappear or get absorbed. Thank you so much for joining me. Be good to one another and yourselves.